Hey, Snowman here. Y'all like the new setup? I'm still tweaking it a little bit. I have to give a shout to Cole Johnson for the original idea, and he's my executive producer extraordinaire, and a whole bunch of people I'm gonna give a shout to. Express version today. I got two very special guests. Gonna get in, get done, get going, because I still have a lot to catch up on. Let's go.
On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Kevin Durant, you should have left California.
This Bronxsexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no! Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
I've missed you guys. Time to get this party started. Good morning. Welcome to the twisted, tripped out Thursday edition of Snowman in the Morning Express version. Only going to be on for an hour because I still have a lot to do around here and get everything situated. We'll be back to a full show tomorrow. But man, I'm going to just launch in and get this started. And I am going to welcome someone very, very special to me. He's been talking college basketball with me for about 4 years now. And we got a lot to catch up on. He was one of the first people that sent me a very caring message when I got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. He's always stuck with me. This coming season, the next season, I'm going to have him on each and every week because I'm going to get everything together. Please help me welcome from the Buckeye Cable Sports Network and from ESPN Baseball, Mr. Scoop Miller, and he joins me right now. What's up, Scoop? How are you, my man? Oh, man, it's great to talk to you. Great to talk with you. And let's just get right into it. Tell me your thoughts, and I know you got a lot of them, on what Caitlin Clark has meant to women's college basketball. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had a chance to cover that game when you came to the Schottenstein Center and played Ohio State, and Ohio State beat them in overtime. Man, I tell you what, 18,000 plus filled up the Schottenstein Center for a women's college basketball game. And you and I have both talked about this before, the stigma of women's college basketball and women's sports in general, not getting enough of fair play. And then someone like Caitlin Clark comes along, or if you go back in the day, someone like Cynthia Cooper or Cheryl Miller or Cheryl Swoops comes along. But the effect of Caitlin Clark is very real. And as you mentioned, the Target Center was sold out for the entire women's tournament in the Big Ten. And it didn't hurt that Nebraska and Iowa gave us one hell of a championship game. Never. We're going to have live coverage of the women's college basketball selection show here on the Snowman Multimedia YouTube channel and the Snowman Multimedia Radio Network. And also, we're going to do some alternative play by play for the women's college basketball tournament as we take you all the way to the first weekend in April and determine the champion as the road to Cleveland begins for women's college basketball. And it's not just Caitlin Clark, it's just so many fans now because of Caitlin Clark that are picking up the women's game, and now you have that effect with women of all ages coming out. But the noise in the Target Center, especially this past Sunday, when top seed Ohio State went down, fifth seed Nebraska challenges Iowa to stop their run of Big Ten titles, and we're just looking at how competitive the women's Big Ten tournament was. It's only a precursor to the NCAA women's basketball tournament, because an upset could happen at any time. As you well know, you and I have covered women's basketball for a long time. An upset can happen at any time. But now, for the first time in a while, there is clearly a face to women's college basketball, and her name is Caitlin Clark. Hmm. No, three consecutive Big Ten titles. And does this make I know this is a silly question, but they are going to be a number one seed, are they not? Don't you think so? Yep. How about Texas and the way they played the back end of the season, roaring through the Big 12? Because for the first part of the year, we didn't know which Texas team we were going to see, but they have really put it together. And as you said, Scoop, they're on their way to pick up that one of those number one seeds in the tournament. Hmm. Yeah. No, they don't. They don't want to see the Texas Longhorns. So you're for number ones match my four number ones: USC, Iowa, Texas, and of course South Carolina, which who is still undefeated. How about Juju Watkins at USC? You know, on the tail already of Caitlin Clark, but you gotta show some love for Juju Watkins and the Trojans. Mhm. Right. Hmm. And the great thing about USC winning that Pac-12 tournament, they took down top seeded Stanford, who was cruising on their way to a possible number one seed, but then USC intercepted those plans and they played a damn near flawless basketball game. Hmm. Right. Where do you see Paige Beckers in Connecticut landing? Right. Yeah. Here they come. Hmm. Yep. No, they don't. Speaking of teams playing their best basketball, there are two of them in the state of Illinois in men's basketball that are playing at their absolute best, and they both have double buys into the men's Big Ten basketball tournament. But in 4 words, I can say to you with a big smile on my face, how about those Wildcats? Yeah. Yep. Yep. Hmm. Hmm. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I'm looking for both Illinois. I can say this with pride. I'm looking for both Illinois and Northwestern to make a deep tournament run. Matter of fact, the top four seeds in the Big Ten men's tournament, as I'm looking at it right now, Purdue, Northwestern, Illinois, and surprisingly, Nebraska. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so much to love about this Big Ten men's tournament. We're going to have some coverage of that, and we'll take you to and through the championship game on Sunday, and we'll also take you through the men's bracket as well. That is Scoop Miller joining me to kick off this express version of Snowman in the morning. And Scoop, I'd love for you to be along with me on the ride to Phoenix, Arizona, covering the men's tournament. Let's cover them both and take them all the way through the championship. Yep, let's cover them both and take them all the way through the championship. Thanks a lot, my friend. I appreciate the time. Scoop Miller joining us here on the program to talk all things women's college basketball. I love it. I hope y'all love it too. Man, we're just getting started on this express version of Snowman in the morning. Got a couple of notes for you, but we are going to take a break. And when we come back, a little bit of version of the whip around, and then Matt Taylor will join me momentarily. This is an express version of Snowman in the morning with Cole Johnson. We're back in a moment.
Everything Boston. I love you, morons. New Kids from the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Peckham's. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
SNWMN Multimedia is how you can follow us on Twitter, aka X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And we're going to change a lot of things. We're going to change around a lot of things with our social media now that I finally understand it. And I've gotten some lessons from Cole Johnson. Oh man, very, very dear friend. Wilfredo Otero, aka Wise El Jefe. He's giving me some good tips. And I talked about if y'all have seen Diary of a Mad Snowman, I've talked about taking advice or taking the best advice. With those guys, they gave me some great advice. I just never applied it until now. But and my wife gave me the greatest advice, and she said write everything down. So I'm going to tell you all tomorrow. Kyle Senra will join me, fantasy football expert. He'll talk about some of the moves in the NFL. And Steve Willis, host of the podcast East of Arrowhead, will join tomorrow to talk all things two-time defending world champion Kansas City Chiefs. And then on Monday, I have someone very, very special. I'll tell y'all about her tomorrow. And of course, Chris Bass will join to close out the show. I'll have the big dog Shane Lake with me. I'll have Victor Locke, who I'm waiting on right now. Victor Locke joining me as well. Cole Johnson will be pushing the buttons as usual. And let me just take a moment here to say thank you to everyone that has tuned in to the channel, everyone who has shown their support for it, whether you have watched a play-by-play stream, whether you have watched a stream of our morning show. And like I said, we're tweaking the look a little bit, and I hope you guys like it. Even if you tuned in for only a couple of seconds, I appreciate you. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you guys. I really, really do. Now, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome my buddy and one of the contributing hosts to the show. He covers the Cowboys. It's Victor Locke, a.k.a. From Chicago's South Side, Victor Locke joins me. Good morning, brother.
Good morning, Snowman. How are you?
I'm feeling great. How are you?
I'm doing well myself.
So the Dallas Cowboys finally made a move because they're picking up free agent linebacker Eric Kendricks, who originally agreed to a deal with the 49ers but backed out. Now he's signing with the Cowboys. You've done some research on him, and as you communicated to me, tell me your thoughts on how this particular signing of Eric Kendricks is going to work for the Cowboys.
Well, it definitely helps out our defense side of the ball, which took a major hit. This is another year in Micah Parsons' career, and you saw a very big decrease in his output. Mm-hmm. So having another linebacker come in help. It's a lot like the Lance Briggs, Brian Urlacher situation, but back in Chicago. Mm-hmm. You need that extra help, the extra push to make your entire defense as a whole a lot stronger. Yeah. So I am excited for this. I am very excited for this pickup.
We're waiting on the move to become official. A lot of moves are official. Saquon Barkley and others. There's a story about Howie Roseman tampering. I don't believe it, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But with everything that's going on in free agency, give me a couple of moves that you think have absolutely knocked your socks off, surprised you.
Well, as much as I still say that I think this is not going to be the best move for him, but the team that he's on, it's certainly a great move for the Bears to have DeAndre Swift now as a possible bell cow running back. And if they do get a better line through either free agency or the draft, mm-hmm. I'll be a lot more impressed to see what they do there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You got to build your offensive line. We've talked about it for many, many years. No matter what show we're doing, we've talked about it for many, many years. If you want to look at the Chiefs, look at the 49ers, mm-hmm. the teams that were in the Super Bowl. What did they do? They built their line inside out. When I'm talking about their team, I beg your pardon, inside out. And I'm talking about on offense, you build your line first, which is what the Cowboys did in the 90s. Mm-hmm. And then you get they got Well, they got Troy Aikman, their number one draft choice. That was 1988, and then they started building the pieces around Troy because they expected him to be their leader. And come 1992, he was. And I still think, and this is me, maybe this is recency bias, maybe this is just the fact that I've seen better over the years. Is it wrong for me to still get the feeling the Bears are going to screw this up?
No, not at all. It's I'll put it like this: as Stephen A. would say about the Cowboys, same about the Bears. What can go wrong will go wrong. It seems the Bears are an accident waiting to happen, and I hope that's not the case because I really like DeAndre Swift. I mean, I don't like the Bears, but I do really like watching DeAndre Swift play. He was a guy that made me believe that the Lions were going to get better, which they did. They ended up going to the AFC Championship. So I definitely could see DeAndre Swift doing that for the Bears, but it is upon the Bears front office. And if they don't do it, then, well, we know where they're going to be.
And that frightens me. That absolutely frightens me for the Bears, is that Justin Fields, as much as I rag on him, I know Justin Fields is quite talented. Okay.
Yeah.
Justin Fields is quite talented. Okay. Y'all are hearing me, even though earlier in the week I said, Justin Fields, you suck. Y'all should know I'm kidding around when I say that. He is quite talented. The problem is there is no talent around him.
Exactly. And DJ Moore is not the answer.
Hell no, DJ Moore is not the answer. DJ Moore has never been the answer.
Exactly.
DJ Moore has never, ever been the answer. Ever. And the wild thing is they are depending on him to be a number one receiver.
Which he's never been.
Why?
Right, which he's never been. He's never been
called
upon to do that.
He's never been a number one receiver. Ever.
And talent-wise, he doesn't have it to do that.
No.
It really, for me, it's been the running backs that have really like knocked my socks off in terms of the moves that were done. I mean, Derrick Henry to the Ravens.
Oh, yeah.
As if they couldn't be even more terrifying on the ground.
Yeah.
Now you have King Henry along with Lamar Jackson.
The only thing I'm worried about with Derrick Henry is him staying healthy.
Well, yes, but I think that's not much of a problem.
That is the thing with me.
I don't think it's that much of a problem because honestly, that line for the Baltimore Ravens has been pretty doggone stellar. So I don't even see that being a problem.
With the Baltimore Ravens, let's do this. Let's talk about them because we're in the AFC. I got Matt Taylor coming in just a moment. Man, the Baltimore Ravens were a touchdown away from getting to the Super Bowl, but they were stymied by Kansas City's defense.
Yeah.
Does the signing of Derrick Henry put them over the top?
Absolutely. We've seen Derrick Henry from what he's done in Tennessee, just how dominant of a runner he is. This isn't just about, having fancy footwork going side to side. We're talking about a guy who can run you over.
Yeah.
And that is going to scare a secondary. That's going to scare your linebackers, the linebackers of the team. When someone can just bowl you over, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Yeah, you're definitely going to see a lot more blitzes. You're going to see a lot more 7-8 in the box for defenses that go against the Ravens.
Absolutely. Which is scary already. Which is scary already.
And then there's Lamar Jackson.
There's Lamar Jackson.
This is what the Eagles should have been when they had DeAndre Swift. You have a pretty dominant running back. You got a mobile quarterback that can throw. You have that double threat of, we got to worry about the run. But now here comes that nice little play called the play action.
Yep.
And even if we have all the receivers bogged down, guess what happens? He'll take Lamar Jackson will take off and get the first down himself.
Yeah. We will see how scary that Ravens team is. Let's take a break. When y'all get back, Matt Taylor, the fabulous voice of the Indianapolis Colts, will join the fray to talk all things Indianapolis Colts and their moves and see how they get better while they wait for AR5 to get better and get healthier and lead this Colts offense. Matt Taylor is next after the break.
Attention sports fans, looking for the ultimate gear and apparel to show your team pride? Look no further than Fanatics, the #1 destination for sports enthusiasts. Visit snowmanmultimediasports.com today and shop a wide selection of officially licensed merchandise from your favorite teams and players. From jerseys to hats to accessories to collectibles, Fanatics has it all. Don't miss out on the chance to elevate your game day experience. Head over to snowmanmultimediasports.com/fanatics and gear up like a true fan with Fanatics. Officially licensed everything. Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code SNOWMAN for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
Welcome back to this Thursday Express edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. We have been rolling right along here this morning, and now I get a chance to welcome a fellow who is becoming a very dear friend. And not only that, he is the fabulous voice of the Indianapolis Colts. And he joins me right now on the Invader Coffee guest line. Please help me welcome Mr. Matt Taylor. He joins me right now. What's up, Matt? I'm doing good, man. How are you? That is fabulous. You and I both are trying to keep track of things. How crazy has this free agency period been? Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Sam. I cannot hear him on my end.
What's the first thing that you believe the Colts need to shore up to make them that playoff team that they were so close? They were so close to. They were so close to having this past season. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mhm. Mhm. We are indeed just getting started on this part of free agency. How big is it for y'all to bring back Zaire Franklin? Mhm. Yep. Yep. Mhm. Mm. Mhm. We're talking with Matt Taylor, the fabulous radio voice of the Indianapolis Colts, talking all things Colts and free agent happenings and possible draft happenings. The biggest piece of the puzzle, and you mentioned it a few moments ago, the development and the health and the comeback of Anthony Richardson, because you and I talked about it before. We've seen flashes of AR5, but now with the Colts being that close to a playoff berth, Anthony Richardson can really make this offense sing and make this Colts offense go. Right. Right. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Yep. Right. Mhm. Right. Matt Taylor, the fabulous voice of the Indianapolis Colts, giving us all the scoop on the Colts happening in Indiana's capital city. We're gonna do this again for another season. He's going to join and give us all the Colts happenings. I love you very much, brother. Thank you so much. And it took just me sending a message to him and Matt saying, "Sure, I'll come on. Let's do it." So we've done it the last 2 years. We're heading into another season, starting with free agency, and then the draft comes along. I love when you come on the show, my friend. I appreciate you. Absolutely. All right. Thank you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Taylor, the voice of the Indianapolis Colts, joining me. I've realized, and Victor sent me the message that we had some audio problems. So what we're going to do, we're going to replay the interview on the YouTube channel. For those of you who did hear it, thank you for tuning in. It's fun. It's fun talking to Matt Taylor. Victor Locke now joins me back in studio, and Victor, Matt said something that is so very true, and you know it to be true, and you've seen it, and we've talked about it, and that is the development of Anthony Richardson. The within the sample size, and you were the first one to bring this to me, and I appreciate you for it. The sample size is the talent is there.
Yes.
The talent is there for Anthony Richardson. The weapons are there. Pay attention, Chicago. The weapons are there. And this isn't you heard Matt say it. It's not hyperbole. They have a chance to average at least 30 points a game as long as they stay healthy. Michael Pittman is back. Jonathan Taylor is back. Mo Alley Cox, the big tight end. You can get a receiver in the late rounds of the draft. Everything is right there for Indianapolis to take that South Division. Indianapolis can become, in 2024, I believe the Colts can become what the Houston Texans did this past year. Even though the Texans are going to have the Texans are going to be there for a while. All right. They found their gem in CJ Stroud. You don't know what it's going to be like with the Colts because Anthony Richardson's injury.
Right.
And you were limited to 15, 20 yards at a time, as Matt said, with Gardner Minshew. And this is nothing against Gardner Minshew, but when you rank last, as Matt said, in explosive plays, that's got to change.
Yeah, because that's going to be the deciding factor. A lot of those times, the momentum. Remember when we talked about momentum in games, and I go back to Week 5 against San Francisco and Dallas. There were some explosive plays that happened on the side of San Fran.
Right.
That completely took Dallas out the game. That is what the Colts are going to need to hang with the Houston Texans.
The first two explosive plays that we talked about happened to be the first two touchdown passes to George Kittle.
Right.
One from 19 yards, and then that trick play. When handed to McCaffrey, flipped to Devo, flipped it back to Purdy, and Purdy connected with George Kittle for the touchdown.
Exactly.
Those kind of explosive plays were missing with the Colts after Anthony Richardson went down. Now, the question is going to be, can he stay healthy, which I believe he can, and how much fun can the Colts have with this offense?
I think that he's going to have a lot of fun this coming year. I think that line is going to get stronger. I think Richardson is going to get stronger. And it's going to be fun, not just for Dr. K. It's going to be fun for everybody to watch.
I believe it.
Play.
I believe it. I believe it. And I know she's going to have a blast. I'm going to have a blast covering them as I'm doing now, with the free agency. And folks, go to snowmanmultimedia.com after the show today. I know the website has been bare. I have been very busy. I've had to make sure I heal properly, but I will be in front of the computer today getting everybody updated, especially doing this express version of Snowman in the Morning. And I have a bonus interview that's going to be on the YouTube page only with my buddy Garrick Davis, who offered his thoughts on NFL free agency. So everything's going to get spread out and spread all over the place. Man, I have to give you some thanks for just being there for me and with me. And I know this is the serious part of the show, but I have to you, to Wise El Jefe, to Cole Johnson, especially to Cole Johnson for accepting being the executive producer. And I know he hasn't been around. And I know he's been busy, but the man has been there. You've been there. And I'll say it again. Can you believe we've been doing this for 24 years?
24 years.
That's crazy.
I go back to, shy me, shy little me, just fresh out of high school.
Yeah.
And this big guy starts talking about sports, and I jump right in, and all of a sudden I'm up in the media room. I'm up in the radio room talking on the sports section. And then it just rolls from there.
It exploded from there.
Yep.
It just exploded from there.
The name changed, but the fun's still the same.
The name has changed so many times over. And a friend recently asked me, how many times can you start over? And I remember the first time he asked me that question, I couldn't answer it. I can answer it now. I'm starting over as many times as I need to get it right.
Exactly.
I gotta get this right. We are going to get this right.
You start from the foundation, work your way up. Sometimes the foundation doesn't work. You gotta break it down, start over.
And I've had to. Beginning in January, I did. I had a monkey wrench thrown into the program when I lost my right big toe.
Right.
And mentally it knocked me sideways, but I'm back now. The Kingpin is back.
And we're about to have a lot more fun with it too.
Absolutely. And we're going to make this all pay off. So let me get this announcement out of the way. We are moving the start time to 8 a.m. Eastern time beginning Monday. All right. We're going to start at 8 a.m. Eastern, which means Ryan McCoffey on Mondays will be at 8:35 and Jay Spivey will come along at 10:35. And we're just going to keep going from there. But beginning Monday, when we start getting all of our networks back, and thanks to those at Zebo TV for hanging with us as well as WEIS in Chicago, WIRU in Chicago. Thank you to everyone that has hung with us, WQEE in Atlanta. And yes, I said Atlanta. We are on the air in Atlanta.
Yep. You know what that means, right? I mean, somewhere Kirk 2 Chainz Cousins is listening to us.
Oh, I know a couple of people that are listening to us, because I know my boy Antoine Smith, aka Smitty of the Smitty Sports Machine. He already pledged to me, whenever you talk NFL, let me know. So he's going to be our Falcons correspondent. I have a fellow out west that's going to be my 49ers correspondent and take the load off of me. You're covering the Cowboys. Of course, I'm going to have Ben Sutterth and Chris Dietz and a lot more people that cover the Cowboys coming as well. Ryan covers the Jets, and I got a couple of people that want to do NBA. It's like what Colin Cowherd went through when he left ESPN and signed with Fox Sports.
Right. You
blow it up and you start over.
Yeah. That's what you got to do sometimes.
You blow it up and you start over. So beginning January 1st, even though I was asleep, even though beginning January 1st, after I took my daughter to work and I came back and I passed out, we're blowing it up and starting over. That's why the website's been empty. And starting today, you'll see all the content that we put from the shows and from the play-by-play. And I'm working on getting an editor that will help out, especially now, to cut the content so we can put everything out there. Boy, this is gonna be fun. And the Brian Snow Show is coming back this summer, so I'm stacking that up as well for a full first season. It'll be, and I may as well go ahead and let the cat out of the bag now. The Brian Snow Show will be back this summer after we come back from vacation. It'll be an hour long, and it will be an interview style show.
Okay,
it'll be like a talk show, but more fun.
Yeah,
more laughs. There'll be some serious talk in there as well. But I am getting that foundation together. No, change that. We are getting that foundation together, because as I said at the top of the show, you can take a lot of good advice, but which piece of advice will work for you? Well, now I found it. I found it, and we're gonna have a whole lot of fun with this. And our time is up. I want to thank you all for listening and watching this express version of Snowman in the Morning. We got a full show tomorrow. Kyle Senra, fantasy football expert, will join us. Steve Willis, the host of the East of Arrowhead podcast, covering the world champion Kansas City Chiefs. Our Chiefs correspondent will join us. And, of course, to close out the show, the fabulous Chris Bass. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big. Do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. And tomorrow, I said Monday, but tomorrow we're on at 8 a.m. and we're on at 8 a.m. all the way through. So long, everybody, and God bless.
Thank you.
We're fully loaded tomorrow for 180 minutes of great sports talk. See you then.